Hey, we're right on here. Let me adjust this camera real quick. There we go. Okay, let's get right to it. Got my spaceships here and everything going. Oh, actually, let me bring another one up. I have several photos I'm working from. Yeah, let's go with that one. And it gives me a layout of Portland. Whoa! Okay. And now we're out of focus. I'm on. Goodness. Probably because I walked in front of the... There we go. Probably because I walked in front of the camera. Okay, let's do it. Excuse me, good grief. Doing that. Got Ethel and George here. Okay, got our big spaceships coming in. As I say, is making for a lot of conversation. Hey, Anthony. Greetings. Hope you're doing well. We'll get some more Prussian blue. Just got a new tube of it today. Makes me happy. No fun. Bit of work on Ethel and George here. Yeah, I think next time I'm going to have to definitely change up the palette. I don't know if you noticed that, Anthony, but after a while, even if you keep it moist and stuff like that, after a while the paint just starts setting up, and it's time to get a new round of paint. Okay, start getting some shadows in here. Ba-de-dum, ba-de-dee. That in there with green. Actually, I gotta go with a bigger brush. Did a little work in the yard today again. So tiresome. I always have all these darn weeds. They're just like, how irritating, how robustly irritating. I can say one thing, the disadvantage about YouTube versus this Facebook Live. something pops up to let people know I'm on Facebook, where YouTube, they have to be subscribed. And I'll tell you what, it's like pulling teeth to get people to actually subscribe. It's just interesting. It's like they think they're going to be on some sort of ad campaign. I don't know what it is, but I'm liking this YouTube. So I think I'm going to keep at it and see where things go with it. Yeah. If you have any suggestions at all, Anthony, ears are wide open. Come on, get off there. Good grief. There you go. I know it's even hard enough just to get people to even when you're on just doing it from Facebook, is to even just say like. You know, so I've learned not to, don't get too frustrated, but it is frustrating. And what gets me, I've gone through this, some of YouTube, and you'll see some of these ones that have like millions of hits, and you're like, why? I remember one guy who was really nice enough, though. This was years ago when I first started kind of experimenting around with Facebook. Hopefully this camera, there we go. All he did was draw an eye. Granted, it was a well done eye, but he just drew an eye and time lapsed, and 3 million. I think it was 3 million hits. And I actually sent him a message. He says, "What is your trick?" And he flatly he was really nice, and I said, "I'm not trying to take away from the talent. It's a well done eye," and stuff like that. And he said, "It was just sheer luck." He said, "For some reason, people just started watching it." And he had over I think it was like almost 3 million views. And I was like, wow, how did you do that? But it is amazing. Okay. Not going to quite get done with this one today. I want to double check some things, but we're getting there. Going to have some shadow effects in the city to make it more interesting. Oh, we're getting there. I was going to start another lighthouse, but I think it's important to vary every once in a while too. So I don't know if the next non-science fiction painting is going to be either or it might be a Portland scene too. I'm not sure. Going through some things, but I got plenty of lighthouses, and I definitely want to get that whole series done. Kind of got warm here today, but I've seen you guys have been having just incredible heat. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Sometimes a cold when it's hot out is the worst because you're going in and out of air-conditioned buildings, Thank you. Yeah, the scene is from this big mansion called the Pittock Mansion, and beautiful building. Our house, our mansion, I should say, and people go there. It's kind of open to the public. It's no longer. I don't believe it's privately owned anymore. And there's a big park that goes around it and stuff like that, and people walk up there, and you just for the views from it, it's just amazing. Have a little bit of vino tonight while I paint. always helps relax and enjoy it. I always say that's what my biggest thing for artwork is. You got to have fun. You got to be enjoying it. I'm going to come back in here with another brush here. Yeah, I got to really do some. Yeah, definitely next time out tomorrow, I'll have a different palette. And shadows in here. A little warm in this room today. Got warm today. Was it warm for us? 70 degrees. Hey, Merrick. Oh, Mavis. Hey, Mavis. How you doing? Glad you could join us. You bet. I got to remember to remind people, you just click on it. Yeah, like I said, I was just telling Anthony, that's one drawback with YouTube is that you don't, unless you're a subscriber, you don't get a pop-up thing. I don't know. I might even work around that once I'm out of the jail at Facebook. I might maybe just take the time, do a quick little event announcement every time, and then that will pop up. Now over here would be the Wells Fargo building, but you don't see it here. Bumpity, bumpity. Yeah, if you have a Google account, you could always subscribe to my channel, and that way you would be notified. But I'm happy to have you here. I tell you, when I suddenly had to switch here, I was kind of a little bit in panic. But sometimes, like I said, sometimes those are the things that are that you've been needing to have happen to you. That's the Willamette River there. And with a fan brusher. Okay, let's work on those ships now. I'm not going to quite get done, but you know what? I think the next time around we won't get done. But who knows? We'll see. Finished the lighthouse yesterday. Cape Muirs. Okay, let's get going on these ships. I look back just to see, making sure I'm not blocking everybody. Got our Oregon Air National Guard up there escorting them. I think they use F-15s, if I remember right. Get these things much more interesting. I think it was like, what the heck was that? Can't think right now. Heck. Independence Day. They look like giant rocks to a certain extent, didn't they? Oh, Merrick tried to call me, but I was on the phone with my parents, and I've noticed when I'm on the phone, it automatically hangs up on those people. So it almost sounds like I'm being rude, you know. Not meant. Okay. Yeah. Huge engines here. working on these things, get some more detail on these big, huge ships here. Who knows where they came from? Okay. A different brush. I'm liking that brush. Whoa, yeah, it's too broad. Ah, we got over here. Yeah. I had a weird one. I don't know if any of you have encountered this, but this one phone number keeps coming up and it keeps trying to call me, and I don't know who it is, so I don't pick it up. And this last go around, it was going to be a video thing, and I said, "Oh no!" Yeah, that's very aggressive. In my opinion, that's very aggressive. Yeah, I'll go with that one. Very aggressive. If it's telemarketing. If I don't know, and you don't bother to leave a message, I ain't going to answer that. No sorry about it. I'll step back a little bit. Get more yellow ochre here. One thing about yellow ochre, it warms up that white just a little bit. And if I can find my yellow ochre in a big tube, there it is. Oh. I know, isn't that amazing? And it's not a local number. I recognize the prefix. It's actually a Seattle number. So I don't. And anybody I know in Seattle, I already have them in my, my phone thing. So I don't know. But God, I couldn't believe that they wanted a video chat with me. It's like, who are you? There's a temptation to answer it, but I think I'll regret that. It's bizarre. Who are you? I think I'm at a point I'm just going to block them. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That was just bizarre. So what? I've never had a unsolicited video chat come in before. That. Yeah, I know, it's just bizarre. Oh, come on. I need to get another. Yeah, the ones that are always trying to sell you warranty too. Warranty or investments, that's the other one. Constantly. Mm-hmm. Do some more work on these guys. Interesting day in Portland. Imagine when one morning you like went, oh, well, look at that. My carbon black, where did I put it? There it is. A lot more white than that. Just cruising along. You hear everybody that knows about gravity and all that stuff. Oh, that's not possible. Something that big is going to be floating along. So, well, if they have the capabilities to get here, well, guess what? I have that capability too. I still think for accuracy, though, one of the best, even though it was a strange movie, one of the best science fiction was probably 2001: A Space Odyssey that came out in 1968. You know, because they didn't have fake gravity. There was all centrifugal force. You know, so I thought that was, yeah. To this day, I think that's probably the most accurate. You know, when you see the spaceships move along, they're moving along with no sound whatsoever. I've always liked science fiction. Oh, okay, couldn't help myself. Sorry. Work on this. we had some jet fighters going over. We had a air show, and my poor neighbor's dog got scared and went missing. But she's back. Little sweetheart of a dog, but apparently that just spooked her. I've always thought about that when dogs have such sensitive hearing. Just experimenting around getting this engine a little more pizzazz here. I've been rewatching Dune. I have a new speaker, and I can finally hear him talking. Boom. A little bit of black here. Carbon black letters. More. Trumpety. I have no idea what song that is, and it's going to my head. Where's Merrick? He probably know it immediately. It's kind of a spur of the moment, but it pops out because I know I want to do more detail, and I just kind of keep working with it, and that's literally it. I mean, I have, when I started, especially like a science fiction painting, obviously when I do like a Portland painting, or like when I do a lighthouse painting, it is actually working from photographs that I've either taken or somebody has sent me, and so those are completely different. But science fiction really just comes out of the old brain here. I have kind of a concept what I wanted. Like when I started this, I wanted big spaceships over Portland. That's where I went, and I just go with it, and I just start working it, and no, it needs more detail, just things like that. Yeah. And I know I wanted the concept of size, so that's why I put in the fighter planes, so that kind of starts getting you an idea how big these ships are, and that always helps. But with my science fiction, I tend to have a lot of detail in them. And there's always a storyline going through the brain too, You can imagine the startled public as soon as something like this goes over. But most of my science fiction, especially like the huge paintings, the more you look, the more you see. It's just fun. I don't know. It keeps me entertained, and it's just I don't know. I like doing them. And I tell you, the fun thing about science fiction, the more detail and stuff, it makes it more fun. You just that's proper English. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's amazing. Uh, I always remember that incident they had up there in Seattle where that guy stole a Horizon propeller, their plane, the Q400, and they scrambled here because Portland provides the air cover for Seattle, and they by the time they left the runway here at PDX, they were in Seattle in 8 minutes. Isn't that amazing? Just wow, that's booking. I mean, that's cooking. I mean, you're making that in 8 minutes. Good grief. I always, like I said, I was 14 when the first Star Wars came out, and I remember, you're just blown away with that opening scene with that giant ship. It's just like, holy cow! Dum dum dum. But now I got that going through my head. Oh boy, doesn't take much. We're gonna get some more glare off these ships too, like because they're metallic. It was interesting. Billy asked me if I do metallic paints, and I have. Well, these days we'll have a show where we just all metallic paint. I think that'd be cool. I'd really have to be careful about how the lighting is, because that is the problem with metallic. It has a glare to it, and studio lighting can make it so nobody can see what you're doing. So I'll have to work on that. Do some thinking. Dun, dun, ba-dee, ba-dee, dum, dum, dum. Dun, dun, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Oh yes, I actually have his book, Illustrated Man, and I watched a play in college that was based on that one story out of that one where the ship broke apart, and the astronauts, or whatever you want to call them, the crew of that ship, were drifting further and further and further and further away. That was a really kind of uh, cool storyline. I read War of the Worlds here, a couple years back. It was on my bucket list to read. And it was one of those darn books that you could read cover to cover all at once. You see why it was so popular. What an imagination. You have to remember when he wrote that, that was in the late 1800s. I think it came out in 1898. And, there was a reason why they had the Martians be killed by the bacteria, is because we had just discovered bacteria. We had never, we had microscopes for the first time that could actually see it. And so that, I think that's one reason why he did that. And I thought that was, but then he also knew that Mars was 38% of our gravity. And so when the Martians came out of their their capsules there, they fell to the ground immediately because they were so heavy. And I thought that was just a really incredibly the accurate imagination was amazing. That's what we should do. We'll have our favorite book. I'll paint and people talk about their favorite sci-fi book they read on Science Fiction Day. Do a little lighter than that. I always say, remember contrast. There we go. And he was a brilliant writer. There was a Star Trek Next Generation. I was just thinking about languages and how if we ever encountered something, how would we communicate? And they really dealt with the whole concept of languages, because I think everybody thinks we just translate word for word, and that's not the case. Even on Earth languages. And can you imagine what it'd be like if you have something? Let's say there was one that, in that story they all talked in rhymes. It was really interesting, and I just thought that was the first time Star Trek kind of addressed that, because we always joke that everybody speaks English in the Star Trek universe, but it would be really a challenge and a half. Wow. You can see it now. Post this picture and they say, yeah, do much. I have. I've added a lot more detail. Sometimes it's the detail that, especially with like a science fiction, I like having detail to them. Like I said, I want to get this more and more metallic looking. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Okay. Step back, step back. I like that one story that's they're on. It's supposed to be Venus, and of course now we know that Venus. There's just no way. But I like the fact that the rain fell so hard that you could make it go deaf. It was like, wow, great imagination. Ray Bradbury. They were like pioneers in their day for science fiction. Oh, I know, big time. Oh, I saw one. Oh, it was a spoof. It was hilarious. It was like what a little comic, and they showed these alien spacecrafts going up, and the guy says, "Roll up the windows and lock the doors. These people are not to be trusted." Come back in here with white. Gotta start getting a glint off of big pink down here too. U.S. Bank Corp building. Most prominent building here in Portland. It sticks out big time. Just might be done with this one tomorrow. I think I'm going to come right back with this one tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, that's my long day, but I might start a new lighthouse. I'll see. I'll see. Yeah, Planet of the Apes was well written. It really was. I think they, yeah, yeah. I think it was Star Trek that really got me going on the science fiction because um, I watched the reruns because I was too young for when it first came out in 1966. So holy crapolas, that time has gone by. Making progress. No rush on this one. But I've been surprised the science fiction, for a long time I couldn't sell science fiction to save my life because it's a very, very unique niche. But it picked up on me. So I've actually been surprised. And I've had young people buying it, which has been kind of fun. I had a law firm let me know, excuse me, goodness, a law firm let me know that they have bought several of my science fiction. They said, "We love your science fiction." Wanted me to paint uh, like a Star Wars scene, and I told them I think they wanted something. I liked Aliens too. That's another movie. Scary as heck, but I liked Aliens. But but he wanted me to do something from Aliens, and I told him, I says, I'm really kind of big on not copying, other stories. So, like I said, all my science fiction comes out of the brain. I've had some variations on War of the Worlds, and I feel I could get away with that because War of the Worlds is, 130 years old. So, but and everybody knows it's War of the Worlds because of the tripods and everything that's in the painting. Start getting some glare off the windows on the buildings downtown. Okay. We're getting there for being able to do what we can do today. Hey, if you have a Google account or something like that, please subscribe. It actually helps me. You can do it. I mean, if you don't worry about it. But I just, it does help. And then plus you get notified when I'm on. If you click the little bell thing. And if you know somebody who might want to watch that, send them a link. No problem with you doing that. Whoa! I'm couldn't help myself, sorry. Oh, Lordy. Big hole in the ground. It used to be the hole in the ground. Not anymore. It's a big building now. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Okay. And on that note, I think I'm going to have to, hold on. Let me get that one here, and we'll get there. I think that's the Fox Tower. And this is the Hilton here. Put that in there. Okay. And on that note, I'm going to have to call it. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay healthy, stay safe. Yeah. Be back on tomorrow at 8 p.m. right here in Oregon, Pacific time. And I think probably tomorrow I think we're going to get doggone close to finishing this one up. And we could, this way in Memorial Day weekend, I'm not 100% sure what my plans are. So I think I'll work on this tomorrow and then, we'll see where we're at. So seriously, take care, stay healthy. Hope to see you tomorrow at 8. Share this link with anybody. YouTube. So, yeah. I've been liking YouTube, so we'll see where it all goes. Take care. Hopefully see you tomorrow. All right. UFOs over Portland, Oregon. All right. Bye-bye. Take care, Anthony. Thank you.